Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Matthew and today it's a bit different. Yeah, you probably clicked on this video probably for Matthew Mumbles, but notice that there is not a camera this time. Well, I'm gonna do something that I've wanted to do for a long while, and I decide why not do it in this format? See, I've always wanted to do a podcast series, so I thought, why not do it with Matthew Mumbles? Because I feel like doing it in this style would be a lot better, so you can actually kind of join along with the podcast, you know. So yeah, welcome to the rebranded Matthew Mumbles podcast. This is going to be episode 4, which the last 3 were Godzilla 2014 nostalgia, how I got into Godzilla, my first camping trip, and Golden Glory, my first ever object show, how I made that. So what we're going to be talking about here is, I think pretty much everybody is gone through at this point their first day at school. Now, I know for a fact that a lot of people remember their first day at school better than others, but I don't I remember a specific moment from my first year at school. But I'm going to be, or day at school, so I'm going to kind of classify as the kindergarten years. So yeah, that's what it's called, my kindergarten years. So this is not going to be scripted. I'm just going to kind of ramble because that's what I like to do. And yeah, we're going to kind of talk about it. So I remember my first day at school went something like this. My mom drops me off at the school. Well, in the classroom, more specifically, I get to meet some of the other students there that would later become long-term friends of mine, and some short-term. Some of them I haven't seen in years. But I meet my teacher. They're really nice, and yeah, my mom starts to leave. I start crying because I do not want my mom to leave, and my mom stays for 5 extra minutes until she has to leave and leaves me with a bunch of, we're at the time considered strangers to me. But, that aside, that's before I counted them as friends. So yeah, that's that. It kind of goes with every single other kid. I can't exactly remember when these parts happened. These are very bits and pieces of the larger puzzle that's still floating within my mind, so I'll just kind of talk about it as I go. I remember I was playing with a car, right? And there was this big, I don't think it was actually a ramp, but it was a makeshift ramp. I had the big wooden plank I think I got from another toy, and I had something to prop it up. I think it was either a book or just another big wooden plank. And I had this big car, or it might have been a small, I think it was just a car that was big enough to fit in your hand. Although, knowing that I was in kindergarten at the time, I've significantly grown since. It was probably about that size, so whatever. I decided to go ahead and roll it up the ramp. What I didn't realize is that there was a kid right in front of me, or right in front of the ramp. And the kid gets hit by the ramp. Sorry, the car that the kid gets hit by the car that went up the ramp. So a bunch of people see it. It was a freak accident, okay, and the kids go ahead and tell the teacher. I was told that if the car hits, or if I hit the kid with the car again, I'm going to be sent to a timeout. Yes, I can remember that specifically. I don't know how, probably just good memory. And I remember actually going ahead and doing it again, thinking okay, the kid's not there, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Guess what? The kid all of a sudden shows up again and gets hit by that same car. The same kid, the same car. And at that point, I'm just no, don't tell the teacher. Guess what? They told the teacher, and I got my butt up in the timeout. Yep. So yeah, another memory, or actually, rolling on back to that memory, I can't remember. Well, actually, I do remember who this person is, but just to keep privacy, I won't mention who it is. Apparently, this kid was someone who I'm actually I don't know if I should blame it that specific, but years later I meet them again, and apparently I was like telling them the story about how I got into this like accident with a car. Apparently it was them, but then like a year or so later I bring up that event again, and then guess what? They don't remember it, but then they do again, and they don't. I don't know. It at this point it's confusing if they were the person who I hit or not. I can't even remember like half my classmates back then. I'd have to look at like an actual class photo because I know for a fact we took a class photo. This third event happened also in my kindergarten class. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in this video. And this was how I learned how the colors were mixed, or how the colors are made, like using the primary colors. And I'll never forget this. It was like food coloring. I think it was food coloring. It was that or just like really watery paint. So my teacher goes ahead, puts the colors, red and yellow make orange, yellow and blue make green, and red and blue make purple, so on and so forth. So I thought that's really cool. But then she gets all three of them out, pours them together, and makes brown. And honestly, I really had no idea, like, what would happen if you mixed all the colors, or at least the primary colors, and then boom, you get brown. So that was just, like, always, like, something that always stuck to me. Like, that's how you make the colors? Really? That's so cool. And I don't know. It was just something that always happened throughout all that time. And I remember, this is like the fourth and last thing I'm going to talk about in this video, podcast. Yeah, I mean, it's still a video. I was in front of we're not in front of the class, but we were all like together, kind of chilling. And then my kindergarten teacher, I don't know, they were talking about something, and then it eventually got to the point where like one of my classmates was actually talking about I think it was actually a show and tell, come to think of it. Well, basically I'm assuming it was a show and tell. Show and tell, they this guy brings out his Thomas toy, and keep in mind, back then I loved Thomas to basically death, but I was so ticked when I heard that this guy liked Thomas too. It's just like, you're really gonna steal my mojo here. I'm the Thomas fan. You're not. I am. So I had no respect when it comes to other people liking the same stuff I did back then. So I didn't like that. I didn't do anything about it, but that always stuck with me. I could have very well talked with him with our interest with Thomas. We could have been really good friends. I don't know who that kid was, if I still know him today, where he is today. He might be long gone, but, honestly, those memories are just some of the many memories I remember. I remember we were in like a lockdown test. This is just going to be like a bonus fifth memory. This is like, it wasn't a real lockdown, don't worry, we were all safe. And I remember, like, there was always, like, this door that I've always seen. Where does that door lead to? So lockdown happens. It was just a test. So we all hide, where we would in a real lockdown. Close out the lights, that sort of thing. Block off the doors, barricade them. And out busts the door, and out comes in another class. And I was just like, there was a class there the whole time? That's where they would go during lockdown? And I was so astonished by that too. Like, I don't think I was that astonished by anything else since, like, at least then. But yeah. So yeah, that's just kind of here to wrap that whole thing up. Thank you guys for watching or listening to this episode of Matthew Mumbles. If you guys did like it, definitely hit the subscribe button and drop a like. Jesus loves you. God bless you all. Go out there and spread the gospel. I love Jesus Christ. And see you guys in the next podcast or video. Peace out, everyone.